Hello everybody. Welcome back to part 2 of lesson 6.3. So in part 1 we saw 2 new ways of solving a linear system. Now what if your linear system had 3 variables, right? Not just xy but xyz. So what do you do then? Well, if you want to use Cramer's rule, we're going to have to, because Cramer's rule uses the determinant, right? We're going to have to learn how to do the determinant of a 3 by 3, because now we have a matrix that's 3 by 3, and we're going to need the determinant. Remember? A1, A2, etc. So here's how you find the determinant of a 3 by 3. Okay? It looks a little bit confusing, but it's not. So bars mean determinant of a 3 by 3. How do you get it? You multiply, right, one of the numbers times a little matrix, a 2 by 2 matrix, and then find the determinant of the matrix, the little matrix. So we know how to find the determinant of the little matrix, right? Cross multiply, this way, subtract, this way, subtract, this way, subtract. But what are all these numbers? Where do you get these little matrices? Well, there's a pattern. Here's the pattern. You start on top. You multiply with A. You don't use these. You multiply A times the determinant of these 4. That's what I got right there. Right? You do that, and then you move on to the next number on top, which is B. You don't use these, you use these 4 to make the little determinant. Right? You move on to the last one, which is C, that position. You don't use these, you use these. That's what I got here. Okay? So, on top of that, you have to remember that it's plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus. It alternates like that. So what is the determinant of these little 2 by 2s? You remember that. It's this minus this, right? Multiply minus multiply. EI minus FH. DI minus FG. DH minus EG. Right? So this is how you get the determinants. You're going to get one value. After you do all this calculation, you're going to get one value. Okay? That's how you get the determinant of a 3 by 3. Okay, let's look at an example. So we're going to use Cramer's rule. Here is my system. Notice it has x, y, and z, so it's going to involve a 3 by 3. So what are we going to need for Cramer's rule? We're going to need the determinant of A, right, which is a 3 by 3, determinant of A1, determinant of A2, determinant of A3. Right? So how do you get A1, A2, A3 to begin with? That's when you replace, right? Replace the first column, replace the second column, replace the third column. Okay? Like in part 1. So, let's get all these determinants. So for the first one, determinant of A, it's, well, let me use the tracing paper again. It's going to be negative 1 times the determinant of this, right? Then negative 2 times the determinant of this. Then 4 times the determinant of this. Okay, I know it looks sloppy, but I did it up here before. So it's negative 1 times 0 minus 5. That's what I got. Now, negative 2 minus 3 times 0 is 0. 2 times 1 is 2. So negative 2 times 0 minus 2. That's what I got here. Now for the 4. 4 times 15 minus negative 12. There it is. Now do the math. Remember this is minus here, right? Minus. So this is 5. Negative 1 times negative 5 is 5. Negative 2 is 2. And 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. This is 15 plus 12 times 4 comes out to 108. Do the math, and determinant of A is 109. Got the determinant of A. Let's get A1. How do you do A1? That's when you take the same A, but you replace the first column with this, which we refer to as the B matrix in the other lesson, right? So I'm going to replace this with 12, 15, 1. There it is, 12, 15, 1. Sorry, 12, 15, 1. Right? So it's going to be 12 times negative 6 times 0 minus 1 times 5. So I just do it in my head. This is 0, this is 5. That's what I have, 0 minus 5. Then it's negative 2 times 15 times 0, 1 times negative 1. Then it's 4 times 15 times 5, negative 6 times negative 1. There it is. I do the math, and the determinant of A1 is 218. Okay? Let's do A2 now. Oh, before I do A2, let me get X, because now I have all the information I need for X, right? So the first variable is equal to the determinant of A1 over the determinant of A, which happens to be 218 over 109, which is 2, so I got X equals 2. Now, to find Y, the second variable, we need the determinant of A2. So really quickly, here's the determinant of A2, right? Negative 1, 15 times 0, 1 times negative 1. There it is. 12 times... Now remember, we had to replace the second column because we're doing A2. Here's A, so we got to replace this column with 12, 15, negative 1 because we're doing A2 now. So same pattern, get the answers. So the determinant of A2 is negative 109. Now I'm ready to do the second variable, Y. Y is equal to determinant of A2 over the determinant of A, which is negative 109 over 109, which is negative 1. I got Y. Almost there. Now to get Z, you guessed it, I need A3, the determinant of A3. Do the math. I did it for you. Right? I did it for you. Determinant of A3, you replace the third column, right? You do the mini determinant at the little determinants and get the determinant of A3. You already have determinant of A, right? Which is 109. So trust me, it'll come out to 3. Okay, we'll do it for real. We'll do it for practice in class and for the assignment. But it comes out, you see the pattern. Okay? So, oh, I did do A3 here for some reason. Just to show you the determinant of A3. So I replaced the third column. I replaced the third column with 12, 15, negative 1. I did all the math and it came out to 327. Okay? So I actually did do it. Okay. So let me give you some try problems. And the try problems are not going to be XYZ, they're just going to be XY. So a little easier, like part 1. So go back to part 1 and do it both ways. I got 2 of them. This left one, do using the inverse method. Okay. The second one, use the Cramer's rule. So lucky you, you only have XY to worry about, not XYZ. Okay. So use those 2 methods. Okay. See you in class. Bye.